Welcome to the NiNe Show. This is the land where there's constant chaos.
Welcome to the
NiNe Show or the NiNe Show. The NiNe Show.
the NiNe Show.
Got
My
myself
shoulders are so wide I can't even fit in the screen.
Actually, sometimes I really feel like I'm dumber than myself.
Technically, it's because you suck.
Yep,
But
that
we
is true.
I don't know what to say.
I like how you're like hitting yourself on the head when you're trying to.
Yeah, I'm like, think.
I'm like, fuck, like we think the same.
Welcome to the NiNe Show. In the land of chaos today, we're going to be talking about my favorite, Blast. So, Blast is...
What is Blast?
Blast is your introverted observer combined with your extroverted decider, and you will use them together in order to teach, control, get started, and share information with other people, whether that information is beneficial to that person or relevant to that person at the time or not. And today we're going to be talking a lot about that, the different kinds of blast, the difference between sleep blast types and blast play, energy versus info, and things like that. So who is going to go other than me?
Yeah, I had like, I did want to say this earlier, but I can say it now. So basically, it seems to me that these animals seem to like operate like kind of like assumptions, right? So if you're a savior blast for a savior consume, it's like at any given situation, if you're savior blast, you'll be focusing on the thought of, based on what's happening, what can I share? Like, and then the savior consume person will be like, based on what's happening, what can I learn from this? So the savior blast is constantly trying to see what they can take so they can share with people. So like as soon as something happens, they want to share it. Like, all right, that interesting thing happened, let me share it. Like they're assuming they should share everything that they come up with. And then the consume person is assuming they should learn, about what's happening.
I'm
Whatever.
kind of curious, does that apply also with physical things as well? Like, for instance, if there's a homeless person in the dumpster outside of my apartment, and then I'm like, ooh, what do I have that they can take with them on the road? Like, I got some rice cakes, I got, some portable juice, I got a water bottle, like, all the stuff like that I can give them. Like, does a savior consume want to share like that as well if they're blast last?
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm selfish as fuck. Like, I'm just trying to live my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want anyone to bother me.
I don't want to have to give things away because then it means I have to go and get other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, but that's not a problem for you.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
weird.
no, well, in a sense it's not, but in another sense it is, because it means I have to go outside, interact with people, exchange money for things.
Oh, that's because
Yeah.
you're consumed sleep. Okay.
Yes, yeah, probably.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Asees, any thoughts?
Interesting. Yeah, Asees, what do you think about sleep blast? I'm gonna skip one versus blast play, the energy and teach, or the reworking the same info.
There are a few really noticeable differences. One is like the energy. Blast sleep is going to be a lot more introverted than blast play. I suppose I tend to get along more with blast sleeps. Yeah, I find double activated DE, especially as a saviors, really obnoxious to deal with. They just kind of hit me in my demons. The more technical differences, it's like blast sleep, it's like you are processing and perhaps not in this order. And you are, and then sharing that processing, and then you're processing what you said and perhaps what they said about your blast, and it's all just through the lens of the OI, your OI, and that's just getting refined and refined and refined through its interaction through yourself and with others. And then blast play, it's doing a similar thing just through the DE, where it's sort of making sure that the tribe's needs are being met, that they're okay, that they can get validation from both the chaotic and structured avenues of existence.
Yeah, man. So it's like, so the C blast is more double deciding to refine that OI. And then, that blast play is more heavy on the validation. Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it, actually. Because that goes beyond Dave and Shannon's descriptions of just reworking known information and just expending energy to teach. Yeah,
and I wonder if the sleep blasts are more refined in their information as well, like if they're more serious and they're more narrowed in on what they want to teach, whereas the blast plays are just kind of taking like high level stuff and then trying to do something with it.
I'm trying to figure out specific in real life about how that would work. I mean, so the audience would know the difference, because like I will see like some blast plays like at work, and they will like know what they need to do and then go for it. But then if their sleep lasts, especially, they kind of tend to forget, like, and be a little bit more reactive. And then they come right back to, okay, wait, that's off topic. But it's like they enjoy that play in there as well. And then I guess if you're talking just work, like a sleep blast, like I won't personally do anything unless I've already like put it in its place, like in my mental box. Like, this is highest priority, second, third. This is insignificant. You can do that. You can ask someone else to do that. This is what I'm doing. Like, never off track, I guess. But I can't say never.
That's cool, man.
We all get off track.
And I guess it's also like, because Asees was specifically talking about like information, like sharing information, and then listening, like reworking that feedback. I also see it in like what they physically do, like doing stuff, because blast is also getting started, so it's also like a physical, I'm gonna get started with this thing. And I noticed those people as well, the blast sleep, they like to do the same thing, also do the same thing over and over again to get that kind of feedback. And then they keep.
That's probably why it's easy to get started for them.
Yeah.
Just they already know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have you've worked on the OI enough that you can just do. Yeah.
They've got the whole checklist in their brain. They've got the whole instruction manuals in there.
Yeah.
So like, I guess an example of that would be like if I'm like on my phone and Jono or Asees, or one of you guys sends me some video and you're like, hey, check out this video. If I've never clicked a link before, I'm not gonna know what that means. I'm like, oh, it's just a photo. And you're gonna have to run it by me step by step before I actually go out and try it. I mean, I could if I really, really, really wanted to, but it's gonna be weird, and I'm gonna be like, is there like something I can Google on how to do it?
Yeah.
You know, versus a blast play like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, working it out like physically, trying to move it around, break it, see what it does.
Yeah.
I guess blast play would be a little more physical, and blast sleep would be a little more mental.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Different types of blast. So, like before on the consume video, we each have the different types of blast. being SITE blast, NITE, already said that, NIFE, and SIFE. That was a mouthful. So I'll go with this one. So my blast is SITE. Sometimes I think that, well, I at least try when I communicate, I really try to like be very clear and enunciate things clearly and well and structured.
And not mess up on the different kinds of blasts.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to have to read off. No. So, and I notice this in my writing as well. I'm very structured in the way I write. I like to make sure there's nice paragraphs, there's bold formatting and underlines, and there's bullet points, just to make sure it's really clear, really easy to read, so anyone can just read over it and know exactly that the information is there and looked after well. Another thing is that this is a side tangent, but my audio is also, my blast is also audio, which is masculine, sensory, feminine, decider. The only thing I can think of that relates to me being audio blast is I seem to be good at replicating sounds. Like when I'm sitting in my office and I hear a noise, maybe someone making a noise or there's like a notification, I always like replicate it with my mouth, like the sound. So, you know, like with, you know, the Facebook Messenger tone, where it's like the, I'll do that on my table. People can also go, or like I'll just say, get down, get to the chopper.
Oh fuck!
Hilarious. You could totally mess with lots of people doing that at work.
Yeah,
for sure. And you're in a higher up position as well. You're like you like manage people. So
yeah, in a sense, I'm like
you must be the most chill.
I'm like in between. I'm in between management and like the staff. So I'm like team leader. So
yeah. Fair enough, man. So that's like your ST.
Yeah,
audio.
it's the ST audio blast. Very structured. I don't know. Maybe that sounds like I come across serious, so I come across very ST. Maybe I don't think so.
How do you think your blast affects or comes across in your management skills or job?
I think, okay, there's two different things I can talk about here. In one sense, like having blast last, it's hard for me to like have to always like be constantly pulling people up and telling them, like correcting them or trying to I guess give them critical feedback. I do it where I can, but like I think I could be better at that, like in order just bringing because you know with the feminine T, like and it's a demon, like I don't want to push the tribe too much. I don't want to like, you know, offend anyone or upset anyone, so I kind of have that I need to improve that. Like I need to be a bit more strict and a bit more less like sensitive in a sense. But in the terms of management, I feel like I'm good at sending out communications to like to mass people. So like, you know, I'll write up, we use a messaging application. So I'll, you know, if we need to make a change or we need to implement something or we need to be reminded of something that's coming, I will like be the one that's pushing for these comms, and I'll like put out something and I'll blast it out to the group, or I'll send out an email. So I do try to like keep people informed as much as possible and try to like make it work for everyone. Like I'm always making sure that, okay, is this going to work? Is this going to make what I'm saying, is everybody going to be able to digest this and understand it?
Yeah, I really respect the ST blast because it's so practical. Like it just actually, it seems like the most effective one, and then my NF blast is like the least effective.
Let's transition into that then. Let's talk about this. Yeah.
Polar opposite.
Yeah. So yeah, I have NIFE blast and the both feminine functions. But my FE's a demon, so
sorry.
I missed it. I missed the joke.
Sorry,
anyways,
watch the video later.
My FE's a demon, so I do see my NF blast come out. So it's like I'll unintentionally be communicating while being careful about not treading on people's values, or like I'll phrase my point and then give like different perspectives so people can see kind of like the spectrum of like like values. You know what I mean? So I do see myself doing that, like without intentionally doing that. It just comes out that way. But sometimes I guess it's because FE is a demon. It's more like I'm being careful. Whereas someone with Savior FE, they know how to trigger someone's emotions in a certain way.
Yeah.
Where mine is more of caution. So like my blast comes out in a more cautious way. And I guess because it's double feminine too. So yeah, that's how I kind of notice the NF blast. And sometimes people
One
like
thing.
Go on.
Dang it!
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I always like stop you right on a good tangent.
That's one thing about double feminine blast. It's like you can cut them off so easily. You just go blah, blah,
no,
and they'll stop. Be like, what?
I wanted to compliment you. I was gonna say because when you do blast, I usually catch you like be like, do this because you're so good at it, or like I am not as good as you, so therefore you should probably try this. And it's like it makes someone feel good. Like even obviously that you're not saying it often, like it's really genuine when you do it.
Wait, awesome. When I like if I blast,
like if you're blasting like to direct somebody, it's very nice. But like if you're blasting information, it's a little different. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's just
it's not succinct. It's not like
it's. Like, I'm specifically talking about when you direct people.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe is that a difference between FE and TE? TE is more informative. FE, I don't know, or is it just me? I don't know.
It could be. Well, now we'll transition to NT. So me having NT blast and my TE being masculine. Maybe it's just the masculine TE. I have no idea, but like having that idea of how things work conceptually and like deeper behind what's in front of you. I guess I try to be more informative and stuff, and it doesn't really, like when it comes to information, it's harder to care about it offending somebody because I have such a strong pull towards the truth. And so it's like, if it's true and you don't accept it, it's kind of your fault in my way. But I work really hard to make it, to deliver it in a way that they want to accept it. Like, because it is true, and I want people to accept the truth. I don't want them to be stuck in a lie or stuck in something that's bad for them. So, but it usually comes off a little bit punchy when I do it.
The thing is, though,
feminine NT.
I've always thought your TE was super, super clear. Like it's super clear. Like there's no way I can't understand what you say. Like, it's like,
well, I like to really dumb things down because
it's super clear.
For one, I have the consume last. So when I'm talking to people, I'm addressing them as if they're consume last. Like I'm gonna make this as short as possible, as simplified as possible. And I guess that's also why it really bothers me if somebody doesn't get me, because believe it or not, people don't understand me a lot. So it gets frustrating when I have to do something different with my blast.
Because you've already done it as simple as you can. So like, what else do you do?
Maybe I should try doing NF blast or like ST blast when I blast.
Like
pretend to have those functions and use them.
Yeah.
That's interesting you say that, because like now I think about me, and when I'm explaining something, sometimes I'll go into too much detail and I'm talking as if everyone has consumed. So I'm like, every single word I'm saying.
Yeah.
I need to like drop it down. Just say, like, Jono, today, shops, going, work.
Yeah, dude, I talk like the Hulk sometimes.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
But that's helpful sometimes for demon consume. So really know your audience when you're blasting, and with savior consume, like especially living with Nika, my girlfriend, it's like I need to force myself to blast more. And it's always funny because it doesn't matter like what I blast or how much I blast, it's always the wrong amount. Like, because I can always give more, or I'm just repeating myself, and she's like, you're just repeating yourself.
Yeah.
Or you're giving too much detail now, and I don't get it. Like, don't move on yet. Wait till I understand this now. Like, okay. So I'm working with the sensory type with that. So I guess I'm getting better at it. Hopefully.
Yeah. Cool.
SF Blast. SIFE.
You awake, Asees?
Yes. It's so strange because of my masculine TI. It like wants to come out. But it's like when I actually do blast and not some mangled emulation of it, it's very like people listen. I'm like, holy shit, why can't I do this all the time? Because it's like I've narrowed down the information to like what's physically relevant, so it's not it doesn't require too much brain power. And part of that process is also like finding the right things to talk about, because there are the right things within the topics to talk about, but then there are also just some topics that you can't do that with necessarily. So then that's where the more the FE part comes in, where you have to assess which topic is appropriate for the context that you're in.
Yeah, for sure.
And so then when I put those together, it's like, when they happen to align, people really listen and they really enjoy it. And it's like I can sort of plant some of my NT seeds within those statements.
I have a question.
That's how it be like.
Do you think people that have SI in their blast relate more towards sticking into certain contexts? Because like personally, when I have my NI blast, I'm not always on one topic exactly. Like, I mean, one concept probably, but all this different kinds of contexts, where you might be focused on the most optimal context for the many topics or something.
Well, it depends. It depends on, so like, let's say we're having like a group conversation, like right now with a few people. In this context, in that sense, the context that I would be that we would all exist in would be there are different levels of variation at different levels of analysis. So it's like the particular topics that we're talking about will change as throughout the course of the conversation. People will wane and wax within their attention, in their interests, depending on energy, interest in the topics, and it's like you have to sort of, it's like when you interact with them, you'll find out that some of the things that were not okay, that one perhaps more overarching level of context was telling you, let's say you're going to a particular type of event, so it's like you're already primed for this manner, but then you're talking with these few people, and through your interaction you find out that it is okay actually.
Wait, hold on, can I just say something? You're Jordan Peterson, man. Like you're even doing the hand thing where he represents his point with the fingers and like,
who is God? What is God?
Okay, a very quick side tangent. I sound like Kermit or Jordan Peterson when I'm crying, and my voice gets all shaky like that, and it gets like really high. And
we need to talk about the lobsters.
All right. I just thought that's the funniest thing, because I was crying. I'm like, wait, why the fuck do I sound like Jordan Peterson? And it's like, okay.
You should record that.
We think about when we're sad.
Right. It's like now I can't even like try this demon feel because I'm just like laughing at myself. But yeah, it's like, and then speaking of demon feeling, it's like it is awkward sometimes, and for a lot of situations, the best thing that I can do is to just shut up and not say something wrong.
Just shut
But
up,
it's
shut
like when I do figure out what I can say and what I can't say, I really thrive because I know why I can't, and so that gives me room to maneuver. And because it's not like I figured out the entire reason or the entire myriad of reasons, but it's like, because if you know why something happens, then it's easier to manipulate the outcome in a sense.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I make a big fuss if I don't know why, and people think I'm being really rebellious or defiant when I ask why. And it's not that at all. It's like I really seek to understand so that I can do this the best way or be the best, however, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I did want to say one thing, and then we're going to move on a little bit. But I noticed that people with NE, I think it's mostly Savior NE, when they are talking or blasting, I can tell when they're changing topics when they say it's like. Because that's like the transition to connect this to that.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. So you say that quite often, that I've noticed.
That's interesting.
That's a very physical transition. That's a good that's some good sensor you noticed.
Yeah.
Because it's like there you go. See, it's like that's making a connection from one thing to another, and then constantly doing it is any, which is interesting. But now we're going to move on to the pros and cons of blast. We'll start with the pros. Y'all go
Pros
first.
of blast. Well,
from
from my perspective, I mean, the three of us are blast last. So I guess we can kind of know what it's like to suck at it. Therefore, we know what it's like to be good at it. And from my perspective, I think having blast first is really good in interacting with people. Like blasters are able to just go anywhere, talk to anyone, just literally just talk and actually be in a savior state and feel comfortable and it just be so normal. Whereas we won't go too much into the opposite of that yet, but like, that's just, you guys can just talk anywhere. Like
I want to talk
YouTube
about
channels.
Of that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the opposite now.
Because my mom is FENE. So she has, and she's a play blast. And oh my God, it really perturbs me as a blast last.
Perturbs. Like
Leon and his girlfriend Nika, they came over a few times throughout their travels a few weeks ago, and my mom and Nika are very similar types, so they obviously clicked quickly. But my mom immediately, like she FEs Nika, and then she just starts blasting to her to Nika's FI, and FI regardless of type, and it's I'm just like, oh God, but it's like at the same time I'm only like that because I have to see that every day, and she does that to me, and it's kind of annoying. But like when I see that like in a more let's say in a more social context, a more formal context, I am just blown away by their fluency and the pace at which they do so.
Yeah, it's just so easy. It just rolls off the tongue. Leon, what's a pro of having blast?
The other day, me and John. What's the what?
What's a pro?
Finish what you're saying.
Well, I was just gonna say that I wanted to extend off of what you were saying, John, when because the other day we were on the phone and I was in the middle of signing an agreement for the apartments that we're moving into, and I was like, "Hey, say hi to Jono," and like, and it was just so like.
Yeah, for me, I was like so blown away. I was like, how can you just answer the phone like a video call, like while you're in a real estate? Signing a lease with someone, it's It's just, I don't know, for me, that's just really weird.
Yeah, man.
That's one of the things that Leon and I, like, when we were calling, we kind of mentioned, but then I think I ended us off that and multiple topics. It's like since we're more comfortable in our saviors, we're like better at multitasking in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Better
true.
at multitasking.
That's so true.
That is true. We can switch between tasks, have multiple things going in our brains. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
So-
like as it relates
Technically,
to
yeah.
the saviors. So like
So,
I can
yeah.
consume multiple things at the same time. Like I can't I'm not like a chameleon. I can't look at two different things.
No.
But like I can play video games and listen to a lecture, or I can read and maintain a conversation. It's just like, things like that where yeah, I have to split my brain power, but it's like I'm more comfortable doing that.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
And I can cook and multiple things at one time, start on multiple things, and then go back to them and finish them later. So,
ooh, the stress. God damn, man. But like, yeah, I side with the C's. Like, I can kind of consume and process things at the same. Like, there's plenty of times where I'll play video games and then also listen to something that's like rich with information. Yeah, it's stuff like that.
Okay. Cons.
I guess cons. Well, I was gonna say, like, just to finish one more blast pro. Like, I was talking in one of these videos about Asees boxing, and I was teaching him, and not having blast as a savior, he was learning it in his head very well, but then like the action of doing it, he was a little slower on starting it, and it was kind of like in a real fight, you would have a huge disadvantage if you were constantly doing that. And so it would be like having blast would be super beneficial in the physical sense, because like, he wouldn't have to get hit 5 or 10 times before he realized that he could punch back.
Yeah.
But that's just a super random example for
that makes sense.
Cons are honestly, like, I get so stressed out if I can't blast right away. Like, if I hear something and I want to say something, I get really, really stressed if I don't say it immediately. But I try to shut up a little more for you guys because I love you.
That's intense. I didn't like. So it's like literal. Like, if you don't let it out, it becomes a bit stressful because you.
Wow.
Yeah, it feels like someone's choking me when I don't speak.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And that's how you process information as well. You process information by
sharing, bring it out. Yeah. One
and
con.
I'll forget. Sorry.
No, you go. Because I know you're stressed now. I know you're stressed.
We have 3 minutes.
I can do my saviors. No, it's like I get I forget what I want to say sometimes, because if I am actually consuming, then I have to let go of what I was going to say and what topic I was going to address. But if I want to hold on to that topic and remember what I'm going to say, I have to not completely, but almost completely ignore everything else that follows that point.
Oh my God. I'm like the same way.
This is like the start to end of your sentences. Like, say you're speaking 10 sentences and this is the start. Right about here, I'll be like, oh, I want to say something. And then I don't
listen.
I'm not
wow. So that's Savior Blast, like double activated, missing, consume. Fair.
Wow.
Yeah. But then, like, really cool. Again, if there's something awesome right here that I want to say, but I say, oh, you know what, I'm actually going to consume this, I will, and then I just won't know where I want to go after I'm done. So I'll kind of basically start at the tail end.
That's the same, like Asees said, like that's the same for me with consume. Like, I'll be consuming something and like I won't be able to move on from this topic until like I output something, I write something, I create, I teach it, anything to like get it out. then I know I've like sort of moved on from it, so I can kind of like move on to the next topic. But like I feel stuck until I've like done something creative, like something output based, anything output based. So yeah, same to me, but reverse. That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
All right,
we've got
that's
1
pretty
minute.
much all we have time for. Thanks everyone for watching. Blast strengths. What was this? Okay, so what do we summarize? We defined blast. We talked about what blast is. Then we went into the differences between sleep blast and blast play, the information and the energy differences. And then we've gone in to talk about the different types of blast, the NT, the ST, the NF, and the SF. And we finished off with the pros and cons. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Please give us feedback. We take it on board. We want to grow. We want to get better at things. So help us be amazing.
Subscribe, like, comment.
Make the
share
bell
the
ring.
videos on Facebook. Let that bell ring, ding, ding.
Boom.
And we'll see you in the land of chaos next time.
Bye.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, man.